Welcome back to another episode of Ryan's Garage. We're working on this thing again. Okay, so I need to get you guys, up to speed. I haven't made videos in almost a year, and I have been working on the cars the entire time. So, the moist mullet is a little different from the last time you guys saw it. Let's check this thing out. Oh yeah. So, update. What has been done so far? Currently, I am working on building a carbon fiber front splitter for it. I have some rocker edge thingamajiggers. They're ordered. They're coming in. They're going to need modified to fit the car. The rear diffuser is done. It's that thingy. I'm going to have a horrible angle on it, but yep, there it is. And the rear spoiler is 80% done. I still got to put the adjuster rods on it, but whatever. And then air tank for the air ride. Merca. And Merca. We currently have the front suspension completely bagged. The rear suspension is completely bagged. The air management system is not installed yet. I just have the air tank installed. I'm waiting on a compressor, and then I can plumb everything else, and it's done. Currently, the front and rear is operating off a Schrader valve just in the garage. That's these, so I can air it up and lift it and lower it when I need to. It runs. I have to go pick up my pieces from my buddy Tom, and that part's finished, and then we can start tuning it and driving it. Let's see here. My boost gauge, it's mounted correctly. We got pilot's name. And Merca. It's a little bit different from the last time you guys saw it. I'm going to try to make more videos on this platform compared to the other platforms I was on. I'm not going to put any deadlines on when I'm going to put out videos, anything like that. I'll make them as I go, and you guys will see them when you see them. That's the best way I can put it right now until I can dedicate more time to doing the videos. That's just how it's going to be. Freedom Bird is in here also. It has had a lot done to it since the last time you guys saw it. I'll pop the hood real quick, but I don't want to go into too much depth because I will be making a video on it. So yeah, it looks like that now. I think the last video I made on it, I was building the pulley system. It's done. I am going to be working on the moist mullet. That doesn't get old. For about the next couple weeks. And then I'm going to switch over to working on the Freedom Bird. I have a few things on my list I want to get done before the car season starts. And yeah, I got to get that done. And then we have Rufus. Rufus is going to go through a whole new phase. We are going to put all factory suspension in front and the factory suspension back in the rear. It's going to remain a 4x4, but it is going to get lowered 3 inches from factory in the front and 5 inches, I think, in the rear. And we might get rid of the roof rack, get rid of the light bar. And we're going to put some probably nicer, maybe C5 Corvette wheels on it. Basically what we want to do with this truck is we want to make this into a cruiser. I want to be able to hop in this thing, take it on the highway. Right now, with its current lift situation, it rides like a sled down a rocky mountainside. It's horrible. I've replaced the front suspension now completely once. That includes all my steering linkages, my pitman arm, my idler arm, both CV axles, hub bearings. Everything has taken a beating on the front of this truck, and I'm just sick of it. So I'm going to lower it and just make it a nice daily driver truck. Back to the moist mold. Currently, I am building my front splitter. What I've done so far is I took some insulation board, I laid it up underneath the car, and I drew some lines on it that I liked. Cut that out. I put this 1-inch foam block underneath of it because that's how high I want the front lip to sit when I let out all the air in the bags. Then I took and I wrapped my front splitter, or my front lip, in aluminum foil and spray foamed 2 coats of spray foam so that I had enough to shape. And now I am putting body filler across the foam, continue the body filler, and then I'm going to sand this all smooth and prime it and use this as a mold to make a carbon fiber front splitter. Or maybe if I like it, I'll just wrap the whole thing in carbon fiber, throw on some coats of epoxy, and be done. I don't know which way I'm going to go yet, but I guess you're going to find out. All right, so the Bondo body filler, whatever you want to call it, is hardened up enough. I'm going to go ahead and lift the front end and try to separate this, and hopefully it separates without, destroying itself, but we'll see what's going to happen. I'm honestly trying to be as careful as possible. This stuff is not fully hardened. I didn't want it to fully harden. Still a little tacky. But it is separating nicely. And it just cracked in half right there. That's fine. That's fine, that can get fixed. Alright, so now you can see I have a perfect mold now of this front lip on that car. Now I'm going to be able to work this to where it's going to fit absolutely perfect back onto the car. No issues, hopefully. It did crack the body filler right here, and that's on me. This stuff's still a little tacky. It's actually at the point now where some people would run like a cheese grater over top of it, cut it down quick. I'm going to take this into my workshop where it's hotter and let this thing like fully cure for the next probably couple hours. And then I'm going to buzz this down with some 36 grit sandpaper and put a coat of icing over the whole thing. Get this thing as perfect as possible before I primer the entire thing. So let's go into the workshop and we'll go from there. So we are in my workshop, but it has become nice outside. So I got this thing sitting over here on the trash cans, and I got my Harbor Freight Bauer electric sander, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with a 36 grit sandpaper, get this thing buzzed down really good, and then I'm probably gonna put another coat of body filler on it and sand that down, and then put a coat of icing on it, which is like a finisher filler, and then we're gonna get that down probably with a 180 grit, and then we can prime this thing. So I'm gonna put you guys up, and I'm gonna go super fast and get this done.
Gotta lay down, think I've done enough for today.
So I went ahead and spread the second coat of body filler on here. I think I'm actually going to be pretty good once I sand this down. I'm probably going to have to go back through with my icing that I use and get my final details done and test fit it on the car, and then go through it again and get those details done again. So I'm not going to bore you guys to death with me sitting here sanding Bondo. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a part 2 of this video. So if you guys are still sticking around, drop a like, drop a comment, maybe even subscribe. And I'll get the next video put up as soon as I can of us laying in the carbon fiber and possibly even getting this thing mounted to the car. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Don't forget to get out and do America.